Hey guys, how's it going today? Today is Saturday, June 8th, 2024. Today, I'm getting the tractor and chisel plow here. Gotta go do some chisel plowing. Yesterday, I was doing some chisel plowing down the road. Now I got a field up by the heifer farm that I'm gonna go take care of this morning. This morning here, my dad and my Uncle Charlie, they just left to go and pick the power takeoff up for the 2290. That's why we haven't been using that tractor, because the power takeoff has went out of it, and hopefully we can get that thrown in the tractor here and have the tractor going by next week. That's the plan. Looks like we're gonna have some plenty of nice weather here. I hope that's true, because we still got quite a bit of corn to get in yet, and we're done with no-till, so that requires a bunch of tillage to get that corn in. And having just one big tractor is it's not very nice whenever you're trying to make hay and also do tillage, both. So it'll be nice to get that 2290 going again. Go check the oil here, make sure it's all right. It could use a little bit, so I'm gonna pull it up to the shed there and we'll put a little bit in. Up here chiseling now. This field here, they had manure spread on it, solid manure, so there's a good bit of compaction in this field and a bunch of weeds here. Some of these weeds are pretty tall. With the chisel plow, you're getting rid of all that compaction, you're tearing it up. Corn, this just got to do a lot better. If it's the ground's tore up, like the chisel over ground up that we haul manure on. Usually the no-till fields are fields that are just too stony, too tear up. Here that, or out there on the side of the hill, we like to no-till that, so if it rained really hard, the ground on the road away. We'll get this tore up. We'll let it lay for a couple days here until we get to it next week. We'll go over it with the disc, but meantime, while it's laying here, all these weeds, they'll start dying off now that they're turned over and they're dug up, and the ground will dry out incredibly fast if we don't get any rain, because right now you got all these weeds here holding the moisture in, but once you get rid of those weeds and tear the ground up, it'll dry out really good, and then we can control with the disc and level it out, and it should be a pretty good shape to plant. Got that field all chisel plowed, brought the tractor and chisel plow up to the heifer farm here. We gotta hook it here in the field because this is where we're gonna be using it next. And then I'm gonna take the tractor down home, but on my way down I'm gonna go down here and feed the heifers. We feed the heifers silage every other day up here, and then they get grain every day. The grain that we feed's high moisture corn. We keep it in this wagon here in the lean-to. Finally got our other skid loader back. This is the one that we always keep up here. It had some hydraulic leaks that needed fixed, and also the radiator needed fixed too. That's what took the longest, but she's back up and running. The other day was the first day we got it back. It was actually my first day of summer too. Last day of school this week was on Wednesday. I'm done with that till next year. I was using it to scoop manure out, and this whole wheel and the axle, the bearings, all that stuff pulled out of there. There's a snap ring on the end of your axle that holds all the stuff together, and that snap ring popped off. Whole axle come out of there, and it was down there in one of the lower pens down there in the manure where it happened. We couldn't move the skid loader, so that was really fun to work on, but we got it fixed now. Hopefully that never happens again. It's pretty rare for that to happen. Evidently that snap ring wasn't down in place. My dad said that on the older New Hollands we used to have one of them it happened to, but I think that was the first time something like that ever happened to this skid loader. Got the steers fed here. Yesterday I had pulled the wagon out and brought silage in for them, so I didn't have to worry about it today. So they're taken care of, and I just filled all the buckets up that I need for everybody. So now I'm gonna hop in the skid loader here and put silage out to everybody. I don't know if I had filmed any of it, but we are feeding out of the silage trench now. We've been feeding out here for probably 2 months, I think, and it's feeding back nice. Good solid wall here. The feed's really good. It smells good. It's nice and cool. That's what you want. If you don't have it packed, it'll get oxygen in here and it'll heat. But this stuff here, you put your hand up to it, it's nice and cool. So we just deal from spoilage along the edges, which you're gonna have that because it's a dirt wall. There's not too much you can do about it, but it's like I said, it's feeding back pretty nice. Actually gotta crawl up here, scoot them tires back, and cut the plastic back. I do this job about once a week. It ain't the most fun job, but it needs done because you don't crawl up here and cut it, and you gotta cut at the bottom. And it's not really nice having the plastic hanging down over and trying to feed there. We don't have a defacer or anything for on the front of the skid loader. Just use the bucket and dig into it. It's packed in there pretty good, but it's not packed as much as bunker silo would be, because once we get up top here, we can't do too much packing because the pile is just so high and it's so narrow. You can only get about one pass with the tractor, so you can't cover that much square footage on top. So you do end up getting some spoilage on top, which we just scoop out of there and pile it over there. It's not much. It's not really worth doing anything about, but it would kind of be nice if we wouldn't have to throw any feed away. No matter what you feed out of, you're always gonna have to deal with a little bit of spoilage. But you can't beat feeding out of a place like this because you're on concrete. We had them bags out there. That was just such a headache trying to go through mud to get feed, and you end up having to use the loader tractor and stuff. But now you can use the skid loader, and all you gotta do is take it right out that road there and get down right here at the barns and dump it in. Got all the heifers all taken care of. we'll go ahead and take the tractor home. It's after lunch here now. My dad just took off to go ted some hay that my pap mowed yesterday. He mowed 2 fields down. He's going to ted the bigger field. Then I'm gonna do the other one down the road here later on. But while he's doing that, I gotta work on chores here this afternoon. I just let the cows out to get down their meadow for a little bit here before milking. I gotta go down and after I get the skid loader going over, need some hydraulic oil. Notice the cylinder's leaking. This thing here's kind of pushed apart. I don't know if there's maybe a set screw in there or something that holds that together. I'll have to look into that a little bit. But I need to top off the hydraulic oil. Then I can go scrape and then mix feed after that. Got the ARB here all taken care of. Top them off with oil, and I blew everything out here back at the engine. Sometimes cow hair and stuff gets built up back there. I don't want that catching fire on that manifold, so I keep it blowed out. This cylinder here, this thing here, this here cap on the end, just need to turn. There's threads on that, you turn that in, so you take a pair of like channel locks and tighten that in there. That's what I did. Hopefully it stops the leak. I put a bale of hay in the mixer, got it grinding up. Now I'll go ahead and scrape the barn out, get things ready for the cows to come back in. Then that bale should be ground up, and now I can finish mixing feed. Feeding corn silage from this past year here. I think this was the first bag that they had made. It's really nice stuff too. It's good and cool, just like the feed up the heifer farm. And there's plenty of corn kernels in there too. You can see they're pretty much broke up. That's what you want to see. You want to see the kernels being processed like that. If the kernels aren't broken up and they're not processed, they can pass straight through the cow, and we don't want that because then the cow don't absorb the energy that they need from that to make the milk. Kind of defeats the purpose of feeding corn silage. Here now, down here to piece, we call it a 3-corner piece. It's a triangular piece here. It's grass hay between the 2 alfalfa strips. This strip here was one that I was raking in a couple videos ago with this tractor. hay now, doing a little bit of everything today. After I got back, I hopped in that tractor disc line. I'm up here on top of the hill at home on this pasture field. There's two pasture fields we need to make the hay off of. This one here, and then that one over there. That one over there is a little bit bigger than this one. But look how tall this stuff is. Look at that windrows. It's really gonna make a lot of hay. It's kind of down in places. The rain and the wind put it down. But this line seems to be picking it up pretty good. Got both fields all mowed, and we're gonna wrap her up for the night.